Hey, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer, coming at you again. Want to show you what I got going on today. Kind of wintertime setting in here on the farm, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done in the wintertime, and most of all here behind our house and in our forest, we need to go through and thin and cull out the bad trees, and so that the big trees, the good trees, the straight trees grow tall, straight, and we don't cut them out of any nutrients. So you can see back here I have a very thick area that I need to address. This is right behind my house. What I want to do is get rid of the old snaggle trees, crooked trees, undesirables, and open up my forest a little bit so that the bigger, prettier, straight trees can grow. So here are some examples of trees that I'm going to get rid of. I've got little scraggly trees like here and here and here. They're just going to be bushes. They're not going to grow into something nice and pretty. Right here I have an oak tree. It's about 8 inches around right now, maybe 6 inches around. And if I get these trees away from it, it will thrive and do very well. So the goal here isn't to cut a whole bunch of trees, it's to open the forest up a little bit, and we're going to leave about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet between trees like this. We're going to leave about 35 feet between great big trees, which are up in the forest that are, you know, somewhere like this. So here's yet another example of nutrient robbing trees right here beside this big boy that could grow without these nutrient robbing trees all around it. So we're going to take out the nutrient robbing trees. So now that we've talked about what we're going to do here in the forest behind me, I'm going to go ahead, get the chainsaw. I'm going to do a little time-lapse video for you so you can see how it opens up. If you look back here behind us, you don't see much blue sky. Well, you should start seeing more blue sky and less ground clutter right in here where I'm at. So we'll do a little time-lapse video, show you what's going on. After I cut these up, I'm going to get myself, probably a day's worth of work in here, probably maybe 3 gas tanks through the chainsaw. Now I'm going to bring my chipper up here, I'm going to chip it all up, return that nutrient back to the forest floor, and also beautify the land behind my house. So right here is an example of an area that I've already done. And this is a pile of wood chips. We'll get in there with a rake and spread that all out. But you can see how it's opened up and beautiful. It'll take it a few years to catch back up, but you can see a definite difference between this and what we're getting ready to work on. You can see also the forest is very thick over here, so eventually we'll work our way through the forest and clean up anything that's undesirable and let our big beautiful trees grow and thrive. So this is another little area that needs work. So you might be wondering what this funny thing is. This is my hard hat and face shield for and my hearing protection all in one for running the chainsaw. I just wanted to take a minute to show you what our chipper does. So we bought a chipper, and you can see this wonderful stuff here is what we're chipping up. Now this stuff can go in a spot on the farm where the soil is kind of bad, quote unquote, where it needs more nutrients, where it needs more biomass, and we'll use this this stuff for composting, manure, and it's just an all-around great thing to have. The chipper is a pretty good investment here on the farm, and this is what we get from the chipper. Good stuff.
Dirt road with a cane pole. That's the best you ever know. My best friend with a fishing pole. Through a cornfield and a holler, that's where I go. Never thought about the bright light, but the good times, but the city that I call home. So now I know.
I'm going to show you what I do after I run through a tank of gas on the chainsaw. I'm going to check my blade, make sure it's nice and tight. It's good. Going to go in here and take my cap off of my bar oil and my cap off of my fuel. I'm going to go ahead and shake my fuel can, refill with fuel. This is a 50-to-1 ratio mix. I'm just about out of fuel, so that'll give me another 20 minutes or so of cutting. And the most important thing is to make sure we've got plenty of bar oil on our chain. If we don't have bar oil on our chain, then our chain will get dull very, very quickly. So when you do this, make sure you do it over a surface that you don't really care about getting a little oil on. So that's it. That's what we do. Make sure we're tight. If we're not tight, we'll loosen these two guys up and we'll tighten. There's a little set screw right in there that we'll use to tighten up. So we don't need to right now. We're going to go out and run the saw a little bit more. So now I think you can see how our hard work is paying off. We'll continue with this. Cut a little firewood out of it. I'm going to run another tank of fuel through this thing and we'll be done. I also want to talk to you a little bit about forestry and you know, people that don't want any trees cut at all. First of all, to weed out the bad trees is beneficial to the forest. Most people think that the people that are cutting their trees are their enemy, but really they're the friends of the forest, okay? So these guys study forestry. They know all about trees. If you want to learn something about trees, talk to someone who cuts timber. They'll teach you a whole lot about trees and about forestry and about managing your forest. Now, for those of you that get offended by people cutting trees, I can understand that, but these are my trees, so I'm going to cut them if I want to, because that's the way I roll. So this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to message me or put it in the comments. Subscribe to our channel if you like what you see. I'll be showing you a whole lot of stuff, including barns going up, just things that go on here around the farm. So if you're curious about farm life and farm living, thinking about doing it yourself, subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot. This is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. We'll see you next time. Woo!
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Well, hard working and farming. Sure is nice out here. Beautiful day.